Hi, welcome back to Talk Time. I'm your host, Tisha Powell. So, as you know, I am really not in favor of big government. And as you could tell, digital asset is here to stay. But we have the SEC, Gary Gensler under the Biden administration, interfering itself where it doesn't belong. Does the federal government, does SEC really have power over crypto? Is cryptocurrency really a security? And who gets to define cryptocurrency? Who gets to define security? Do you see this, ladies and gentlemen? So let's go back. If you're wondering, I'm a former Wall Street attorney and I'm author and also a writer, and I authored a book on banking, okay? And I created a hedge fund. Those are the things that SEC love to go after, hedge funds, because they're not a part of Wall Street, okay? So for those who are just joining, yes, I am anti-SEC. And why am I anti-SEC? Because moms and pops of the United States, they hurt the most. You see, there are 4,800 banks in the United States. Small banks tend to help small business owners. Okay, big banks tend to help everyone. But when you are novel and unique, you have to go to a small bank. They'll take a risk with you. Guess what? Cryptocurrency is a risk. And guess what? Regulation, over-regulation, kill risk. Okay? So here we have the SEC. They say they have power to help us. Well, guess what? A bunch of bankers said to the SEC, help us. Rumors are spreading. We need you to ban short selling. The SEC has the power to ban short selling. They banned it in 2007 so that small regional banks would not have gotten hurt by investors. What's going on? Investors are spreading rumors over the internet, social media, and it's hurting a lot of banks. They're doing that for profit. So the SEC has been told, has been notified, and we're going to follow this news, and I'm going to call the SEC, and I'm going to go around, I'm going to meet people like you and me that have cryptocurrency, because there's 110 million people with cryptocurrency, okay? 110 million people on Coinbase. So it's the little people like me and you, and the SEC is trying to shut the crypto down. That's what they're doing, because small people, black people, people who rely upon the crypto to move forward in this country, in the United States, is being stifled. Because guess what? Government cannot control the US dollar from collapsing, okay? The government, the United States government, borrowed too much money, okay? So instead of balancing the budget, they're going after banks, because banks are easy target, okay? Bankers are smarter than politicians, by the way. So are software engineers, okay? So here is the issue now. So we've got Gary Gensler. He's an attorney, okay? He's an attorney. So is Biden. They're lawyers, okay? They're lawyers. So we've got cryptocurrency. It is more like a technology. It's more like tech, silicon. It's a technology. We can't see cryptocurrency. We can't touch it, but it serves a purpose, okay? It serves a purpose to a whole bunch of people around the world, okay? So the tech people figure that out. The bankers now, very smart people, very conservative people. Bankers are very, truly conservative. I respect bankers, okay? I really do respect them. If it wasn't for bankers, people would fail in America, okay? There are 4,800 banks in the United States. We are blessed here, okay? But we cannot have any more SEC interference, because right now, the SEC needs to be doing a job and they're doing the wrong job, okay? So bankers are pretty savvy and they're pretty on to things. Bankers know value. Bankers know asset. So what's going on is that these cryptos, some of the banks actually were building softwares to host these crypto so that they could make, because their MasterCards and Visa cards don't work overseas, Gary Gensler, CEO, whatever, SEC, lawyer. That's what you need to understand. What's the purpose of crypto, Gary? What is the purpose? is for us to continue to do business in the new age, Gary. How am I supposed to do business in Pakistan over the internet, Gary, if my US dollar cannot get there? Okay? And you're telling me that the US dollar is a digital currency. Coinbase lawyer is going to have a field day with the SEC, okay? Coinbase is doing what it's supposed to do. It is fighting back. That's what those giant crypto giants need to do. Fight back, because the SEC has overstepped its power. How can the SEC have power over digital assets? Who is saying this? I mean, it's not even being created by banks. It's created by software. And it's being used by citizens, 110 million people, individual small people, must I add, small people. The person who introduced me to cryptocurrency, Gary, in case you want to know how a 47-year-old mom of two in America know about cryptocurrency, the person made $10 an hour, Gary. Okay? That's what young people are doing, Gary. They no longer trust the dollar. It is sliding. Everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid of the dollar. So everybody is just trying to just hedge themselves against inflation. So technically, it's the government that created the crypto desire. Do you see how crazy this is? The government destroyed the dollar, shut down a whole bunch of banks. The more the government shut the bank down, is the more money we're going to owe. Okay, so all you people who think it's good for banks to shut down, all we're going to do is owe more money. We cannot afford for banks to be shutting down, especially in the United States. So when they're going up, when the SEC is regulating banks, it's not in your best interest. It's in the government's best interest. And that's weakening the dollar. Okay? That's why $100 not worth that much anymore. It used to be $20 in America, could last a whole week. But then you've got big government coming in and destroying a lot of the sectors. And one other thing is, like, why isn't the SEC stopping the short selling? Instead, they're suing Coinbase. So now Gary doesn't have enough energy to go after the short selling. Instead, he's going after the easy target, Coinbase. And you know what? Bianca Bannicle's attorney accused Gary of? Conflict of interest. Apparently, Gary Kessler, the SEC head, wanted to be part of the crypto team, and he was turned down. So it looks like this is probably vengeance for him. But to go after crypto and saying it is security is very overreaching. I mean, I can't even see it, Gary. I can see a stock. Somebody could send it to me. I can see Target. I can see physical Target. I can see Amazon. I can see Amazon's business. I can't see Bitcoin, Gary. I can't see it. I can't see Shiba, Gary. I can't see it. It can't be security because I can't even see it. So what you're regulating? Money that I trade on the internet? Money that I want to trade on the internet to buy product so that I can work remotely. Is that what you are going after, Gary? Why can't you go after the short selling? Why can't you strengthen or encourage those regional banks that feel very shaky? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons that the bank went under is because they bought treasury bonds from the United States for 2%. So here they're raising the interest rate, and they're raising it very fast, and they're crashing the banks. Okay? So why would the government crash the bank? Power. It's all about power. It's all about power. Just understand this one thing. If SEC regulate digital assets, it just means China is going to beat us. It just means we're never coming out of the inflation, and other countries will go ahead of America. So yeah, that's what SEC and the Biden administration would like to do. Crush novel ideas. Because if you can't regulate it, why not kill it? That's how they look on it. I mean, let's just kill the whole cryptocurrency, shall we? This is unfair. This is unjust for the people. But for the people, Gary, not for the banks, but for the people. Because you know what? For the first time, people made $10 an hour in America, felt they could ride that crypto thing. Of course, we know there's a risk. There is a risk. Isn't the US dollar a risk right now? There is a risk. But we're willing to take the risk. We're willing to take the risk. And we don't need government intervention into the crypto market or digital assets. First of all, why would a digital asset even be a security when it was even made really for banking? It wasn't. It was made by tech people. And it's part of an ecosystem now, Gary. Digital assets are now part of the ecosystem. I think that they need somebody to educate them in in banking. I think that's what they need in the SEC. And I think they need somebody to also educate them in crypto. I think that until they have a stand on what crypto is and what digital asset is, we shouldn't be regulating things we don't understand anything about. All right, Gary, you and I are both attorneys, okay? You and I both the security work. How is a crypto security when we can't even feel it or see it? How can it be a crypto? I mean, how can it be a security? That's what I want to, that's what's blowing my mind. And don't forget, the SEC is changing the rules while the digital asset is being grown. So what's going to happen? What I tell you is going to happen. If the SEC keep cramping down, other countries are going to beat America to technology and everything else. So we really going to be like a second-class country or a socialist country if the government keep interfering with technology and digital asset and cryptocurrency. So I'm going to go on the road. I'm going to talk. I want to interview people like you who make $10 an hour. There's 110 million people on Coinbase, okay? And this is going to affect them. This is going to affect a lot of the American people that work on the internet and actually have a small job, because the SEC is coming to crush the crypto for no reason but power. So it's going to affect a lot of people. And I tell people, those small banks, stop pulling your money from the small bank. Rumors aren't real, okay? These banks are good, okay? 4,800 banks, they're going to survive. A lot of them can survive. So stop with the rumors. And Gary Gensler, how about we talk about the short selling? In fact, I'm going to call your office and I want to know what we're doing about the short selling of all these, because the banks wrote to Gary. The banks wrote to him and told him they needed help. And where did Gary end up? Getting media attention, talking about the crypto. That's where Gary ended up. Biden administration for you. I'm Tisha Powell. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.